I gotta think if I've ever actually circled back.
I'm
going through my list. I know that I have. I know that I've been in positions where I should circle back, but I don't know that I've ever actually circled back.
Circle back. Have you ever?
I don't know,
dude. Have you ever seen that guy on TikTok that does like the
circle backs?
No, like the fake like business.
No.
Like I mean, it's ridiculous. He's like, it's stuff like that, like sales business. Like he's pretending that he runs like motivational seminars or like sales seminars, business seminars, you know what I mean? And he'll be like, let's do an exercise where, you have a customer who maybe isn't necessarily buying your product that you think would be a good fit. And I'll be like, oh, your company's okay at this time? You don't need this product? Okay, well, think about this. Imagine if I just pulled out a revolver and killed myself. And then he puts a fake gun on the table, and he's like, my family, everybody that I love, will remember that you're the reason that I'm not there anymore. My blood spatter. Like he goes like off these tangents. It's
Jesus.
Yeah, he has a few that are really.
That's pretty funny.
But he's like he does it like very seriously. It's funny.
Have you ever gotten like the hard sale from someone? Like,
yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course. I didn't even think about who I was talking to.
Yeah.
What your actual job is. Most people aren't interfacing like that necessarily every day.
Yeah. It is tough because, like, if somebody's good at it, like you're like, this person's pretty good at their job, like,
yeah.
But like, I'm never gonna use this person's product. I'm never going to do this. But it's good to sit there and listen, learn a thing or two about a thing or two. I did have a thought today. Dude, I have to remember it.
You had one? Holy
Andy,
shit.
It was, I came up with
It finally happened.
I came up with the greatest parody song for you ever. I know what it was now. You know that song? What's that song? It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss.
Mr. Brightside?
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
Mr. Brightside.
Fuck. See, I wasn't thinking about the whole song because now I have to think about. I was only thinking about that specific set of lyrics. We can round it into form, though, here, Andy.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I'm so curious to see what the bass is, though. Yeah.
Started out with a piss. Ended up like shit or something. I'm workshopping it, but started out with a piss. How did it end up like shit? It was only a piss. It was only a piss.
Right. So it's about It's about
you're
my
taking
own
a
personal
piss,
experience.
and you accidentally shit yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Which has happened to me within a calendar year, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was like 2 years ago.
Taking something like taking a
sorry,
quick.
Hold on. Turn my taking a piss. No.
Yeah.
Taking a piss.
I was on
Taking a piss.
Now I'm calling a cab, and it's running down my leg. Now.
Yeah. Something like that. Oh, that's great.
I take off my pants now, letting it flow, or something that involves
like
maybe,
that.
Yeah.
No, this is great. You don't even.
I just can't help.
But
the
shit
smell
my
is killing me.
I think we have to.
Shit's
I think we should
taking control. We have to workshop it.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be a great one?
You know what? You know what? I'll admit.
Human feces running down my legs.
Well, see, now you're focusing too much on the running down the legs and the human. That's pretty aggressive, the human feces part. But I think you've really got something there, Matthew. A parody of Mr. Brightside parody.
Is now in my pants.
That's really good. I mean, it's a good. I think you've got. There's a lot of.
We own that now.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And write it for me, please.
All right.
You could be the next Weird Al Yankovic.
Nobody could be the next Weird Al.
Started out with a piss. How did it end up like shit?
Yeah, but
that's that's top charts in a day.
Weird Al doesn't have to. Weird Al doesn't have to play blue though. You know what I mean? He could come up with a parody like that. That's not about pooping yourself. It'd probably have something to do with a cheeseburger, but it'd still be good.
That's the thing is like
Dirty Weird Al.
Listen, as a
Dirty Al.
non-pants shitter, I know you are a pants shitter.
Okay, where do I even? Okay.
Have you shit your pants in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Then you're a pants shitter.
And I'm not saying that I'm not. And I'm saying that I don't know that you should necessarily be very. We're not second-class citizens.
I'm not.
That's all
saying,
I'm saying.
But I'm
that's
saying,
the vibe I
as
got.
somebody
That's the vibe
who
I got. Has
shits their
experience. I don't.
You know.
I have shit my pants. I don't shit my pants. I have shit my pants.
You know,
I've also
like if you're
shit my
taking a
pants
piss
without
and
wearing.
You try to
pants.
sneak out a little fart.
Yep.
That could go
How
south
did it
real
end
quick.
up like this?
Yeah.
It was only a piss.
Yeah.
Now this is a great segue because I was wondering.
Dude, I've been thinking about that all day, and I'm glad I remembered it because I knew I was going to forget it. I almost texted it to you, but I thought that if I texted it to you, it would like ruin the.
Yeah, of course.
Because I had that thought while taking a piss, and I didn't even like have to fart, but like Mr. Brightside must have been in my brain, and
it always is.
And then I was thinking like, piss rhymes with kiss. Started out with a piss.
God,
you know?
Into the mind of genius, a glimpse inside.
Yeah.
The mind of a
my
genius.
30-second bathroom break is my alone time.
Yeah, that's when you come up with.
That's
all
when my
your
mind is my thoughts are
chart
quiet. It
topping
really
hits.
lets me.
Folks, there's so much going on. You've got so much on your plate. Why take up more of your time with little things like having to go to the grocery store? My personal least favorite. I've started getting my groceries delivered, and it has changed everything for me. I am genuinely more happy of a person not having to deal with going through those aisles, people just running into other things with their carts, like people not looking each other in the eye. I really hate the grocery store, and the parking lots, forget about that. The great news is Instacart exists. And you might not know this, but you can get more than just groceries on Instacart. You can also get some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour, boy. But the best part is right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode description. Start taking things off your plate and putting different things on your plate. Food delivery joke. It's not really a joke. It was just kind of a thing I said. The point is this. Make your life a little easier with Instacart. Hit the link in this episode description. Get that deal and start using Instacart today. Listen, like I said, you've been working hard. And I think you deserve to treat yourself. And there's no better way to do that than to check out all the great stuff we've got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. We've got more than just clothes, but let me say this. The clothes, they're going to make you look good and make you feel good, okay? This is not some cheap, weird, like that Gildan brand and it fits disgusting. This is like, you're going to want to wear this stuff. It's super comfortable. The t-shirts especially. I'm talking tri-blend material. That's 3 kinds of material. That's Target quality, folks. But we've also got mugs and pint glasses and bucket hats and baseball hats, slides, notebooks, fanny packs, all made to order. So again, get yourself something nice and check it out over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Link is also, of course, going to be in this episode description. Check it out. And if you're interested in advertising on this show, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. You know, man, the podcast advertising, it feels like it gets bigger every week. Every week I listen to, my regular roster of podcasts, and it's like, Chevy is doing ads on podcasts now. Oh, Nissan's doing ads on podcasts now, like car companies, but not just them. McDonald's, State Farm, like massive brands that have massive ad budgets that do big commercials on the Super Bowl every year and all this stuff, and it's very cool. I mean, I can't think of anything in my lifetime that has created its own space for advertising in the realm of like television, newspaper, but now podcasts are right there with them, and that's only going to get bigger, and that's really cool. The problem is there's not really any room for smaller or local businesses to get in on the action. At least they haven't yet. But the good news is that's what we're here for, all right? That's what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits to podcast advertising and what it can do for you, hit us up, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com. good segue into this. I was gonna maybe save this, but what are we doing here? Let's come out with guns a-blazing. Let's start the show off right.
Uh-oh.
Bang.
God damn
It's finally here. The day we've all been waiting for. The Harley Quinn Fartacular Silent but Deadly comic has arrived.
Where did you get it?
Well, I got it at the comic book store. It's New Comic Book Day. So this actually was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but there's been a bunch of distribution
Just in
issues.
time for April Fools. I see it says that out there.
Exactly. So it finally came in this week, and as you can see, it's sealed to keep the scent in.
If I would have known that was here today, I would not have came.
Which is why I didn't tell you. So we're going to...
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Dude, it's going to... That is... I hate... Look at... Oh, dude, I hate this.
We're going to open it up, and we're going to see what it smells like. Now, if every... I wonder if the inside is going to be like in movies when it would say, put your 3D glasses on now, if it's like, this is the part where you got to scratch and sniff. I'll also be upset if every fart smells the same. But what are the chances that they, like, how much thought do you think they put into this? This, by the way, guess how much this comic book costs?
Hopefully they gave you money to take it off their shelves. I'm so upset. I can already smell it.
No, you can't.
How could that? Don't you think that all of the smells have just been like marinating together and have created one?
No,
like,
because it doesn't
homogeneous-
smell until you scratch.
There's only
I
one
don't,
way.
like,
There's only one
believe
way to
that,
find
though.
out. There's only one way to
But
find
think
out.
about an old school scratch and sniff, Emily.
I
A lot of
guess, but
times
I
they
They
feel
didn't
didn't
like,
smell.
smell until you scratch.
I guess.
You activate the scent with your scratching.
Yeah.
don't
It's
think
a
that's real.
scratch activated scent.
Did you buy 2
process.
copies?
Of course I did. Because
hoping-
I knew we were going to open this one.
I was hoping you didn't say that so I could convince you not to.
No, I wouldn't, because obviously it needs to be sealed for future generations. $8 is the answer. It also is ages 13 and up, so prime time for right when you start really going for it in your alone time, if you know what I'm saying. Let's open her up. It sounds like you're taking some deep breaths over there.
I thought that this was never going to actually come out. In my mind, this day was never going to come.
That's insane. That's a crazy thing to think. Of course it is happening. Pretty solid stock. You want to hold it before
No,
we open the smell?
I don't even want to touch. I don't even want to be seen touching it.
I wonder what the story, if there's going to be like a story in this. Artificial rub and smell farts. Let's open the first page.
Is there a fart on the first page?
It doesn't look like it
Let me
here.
see. No, let me see. Well, it would say where to scratch, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what we don't know yet.
Okay,
Here, you
flip
can
to the next page.
smell the
I
first.
don't
It doesn't.
want
No,
to.
the first.
No,
It
I'm
doesn't
good.
smell yet.
I
It
believe
doesn't
you.
smell yet. You're actually not going to smell this with me?
I haven't decided yet. For the people, I might, but I really don't want to.
All right, let's see. So
Has she farted yet? She hasn't.
no. So right now
But
we're
she's
on
talking. It looks like she's faking a fart there. She's like putting her butt in somebody's face.
but you know what? That's a really good call, Matthew, because no, we haven't gotten any farts yet, but you're absolutely right. This comic is clearly about butts. She's just watering these plants, but as Matthew pointed out, her posterior is really protruding
page.
right there. So first page 1, no farts. Oh, okay. I think we've got our first one
That looks like.
right here. See how there's like these lines around the
So you think you
speech
scratched
bubble?
that?
I think we scratched that, so I'll smell it first pre-scratch. No, I don't smell anything. You sure you don't want to smell it pre-scratch?
I'm
I
positive.
promise you that it does not smell
I'm
right
positive. I know. I know what no smell smells like, so I'm good.
That nice book smell.
now. Yeah, actually it smells kind
Dude,
of.
I have a,
It does smell kind of bad.
Oh,
even-
okay.
Well, it doesn't smell like farts, but it smells
Scratch it and see if it smells like
Like, smells
farts.
like plastic or whatever. It doesn't smell like a good comic book
See,
smell.
it looks like I would scratch that down there, not. But I guess scratch.
where? Like her butt?
I don't know. Scratch that. Scratch.
All right.
Get a coin, dude. Your hands are gonna smell like fart.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. I'll just use my keys. I don't have a coin. It's not fucking 1940. I don't need.
scratch
I don't
it like
need
a
bus
fucking
fare.
lottery ticket.
Yeah, just
Like,
scratch.
You're gonna scratch.
What do you
Use your
guys
water
want me to do?
bottle cap.
What do you guys want me to do?
Scratch gently.
Scratch gently. Scratch gently. But is the cap gonna be in it? Well, I guess we'll see. Gotta make sure I don't want it
Ew,
to be
then it's
wet.
gonna go back on your water bottle.
No, your water's almost gone.
My water's
I
almost
was just
gone. I'll
kidding.
just finish that. All right.
Doesn't look like you're scratching in the right place.
Well, see how it's. Let's see. I don't smell anything.
All right, we'll flip the next page. See if there's.
Okay, so it looks like this page. There's no
there
smells.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. This looks like a smell.
But no, keep going. Does it say where to scratch?
No, Matthew. I'm telling. Listen to me.
Let me see it.
If I know comic
see it.
books, which I do, this bubble
means
that
scratch.
signifies
Scratch the bubble though. You were scratching like the side of the bubble.
right. Well, where the fart icon
I would
was.
scratch the bubble.
All right. Scratching. Ooh, 3 7s in a row. Let's see. I don't smell shit. I've just used my finger.
Poop finger.
Soon to be.
Nothing.
Here, see if you smell anything. Matthew, I'm not fucking with you. I can see how upset you are, and I want you to smell this book. So I'm not fucking with you. I saw some ice cream cones that look like butt cheeks. Oh, go to here. Just flip to that page. That's gotta be poop. There's no indication necessarily. Oh, look, it's like a Moe's from The Simpsons parody. That's interesting. I mean, that's got to be all.
I'm looking to
Yeah.
see like
if there's like a key like to like on a map or
Wait a
something.
minute. This is getting out of control.
Well, it's a Harley Quinn comic. And the Harley Quinn, especially like any Harley Quinn one shot, especially this obviously, is like so crazy. They do the same thing with Deadpool, where it's like some people's idea of Deadpool is just like, I'm kind of a fucking idiot who likes unicorns and chimichangas. Excuse me.
I'm looking for instructions. They don't have
I guess they feel like if you want to sniff it, you're gonna find a way to sniff it.
artificial rub and smell farts.
Yeah.
Dude,
Why don't we just smell every fart and see?
Do you think it's an April Fool's prank that it actually smells like farts?
I do think that. Let me see. I'm scratching every inch of this book.
But it does say
If
this issue farts, period, and then an asterisk, and then next to the asterisk it says artificial rub and smell farts.
Right.
So I feel like they would have to on here somewhere say like there's not actually.
I don't know necessarily. Here, let me start scratching and sniffing. Nope, still nothing on my finger, on the designated poop finger.
Maybe you'd have to read it to.
Yeah, it doesn't work unless you read it all the way through.
Well, like to see like that it's obviously a joke. Because the last few pages, there's definitely no
farting.
Farting.
Well, by that point, I assume you've had all the farts you can take. For the average person, I mean, average American.
Wait. See, like I don't know. I'm just.
I didn't think I would ever say this, but if I don't start smelling farts soon, I'm gonna be really mad.
Oh, it's because this is different. So it says end right there.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but then this says roses.
There
might be roses. Scratch that and see if it smells like roses.
Okay. I'm scratching the fart area. I feel like
Got some rose on that one?
I feel like it smells something.
This is great podcasting. For all the people listening.
This is worse than like reading a book on a podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
there has to be a fart in here. Oh, yeah.
Actually,
there's fart on this page. I just smelled it. Yeah. There's fart.
Are you lying?
No, there's fart on this page. Just smell around this area.
I don't want to.
I definitely smelled fart on there somewhere. It was faint, but it was fart. It was a faint fart, but it's there.
Are you sure?
I'm positive because it did not smell regular. It smelled, but it didn't smell. It smelled like It almost smells like something burning. Are you looking up if this is real?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they'd spend the money to seal it the way they did, if it wasn't real. But I definitely smelled. Here, I'm just gonna scratch up this whole fucking page. Oh my God! There's a picture. Look at this. This man is just right up in Harley Quinn's asshole. Oh, now I can really smell it.
I think I'm starting to smell fart, which...
Yeah. If you smell... Yeah, you can smell it. So it smells... It smells like burning. Like burning plastic or like a burning... Oh, right in that corner, I'm definitely getting fart.
What carcinogens do you think they used to make this?
Dude.
Napalm probably. Mostly Agent Orange. That sort of thing. Yeah, there was definitely fart on that page.
Now I can't tell if I'm just smelling fart. Like,
I think you might be. It's good that it comes. You also use it to blow away the fart after you smell it. Yeah, there's definitely a hint of fart in this corner. So I'm not
do you
thrilled.
think you got a defective one?
No,
Open your other one.
No, I'm not opening the other one. Like I said, it needs to be saved for generations. Let's see if it's this. Yeah. Yeah, it smells yeah, it just smells bad. Like, it smells gross.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like fart, but it smells like pretty bad. And also, however, I will say that fart smells different from this one.
Well, yeah, because that says here, have a rose. That should be a good...
I don't even know what that one smells, honestly, now at this point.
This...
Anyways, the point is...
This turned out...
This is disgusting.
Better than I thought
People are discussing. Oh, okay, because it turned out way worse than I thought it was going to be.
No, I know you want it to smell serious fart.
Well, look what it says. Okay, I'm expecting, something for that. I'm getting ripped off, fart-wise.
You could maybe... Dude, see, I feel like scratch and sniff stickers were a little thicker. There's a Harley Quinn...
Yeah, animated show.
On HBO Max?
Yeah, it's like a comedy. It's very funny, actually.
We're not in Gotham anymore. Dude, are you good on this? Rate it. 1 out of 10.
In what aspect?
And just overall first impressions.
All right, here are my thoughts on the Harley Quinn Fartacular Smiling but Deadly Special. The
not enough fart.
Honestly, not enough fart. And look, clearly her ice cream, like she's eating ass in that picture.
Yeah.
Like there's so much kind of dumb stuff like that. Well, not dumb, but not for me.
Butt references.
Yeah, there's a lot of butt. Look at she's breaking out of a statue ram via its ass. So that's something. I don't know. I really think it's just like Harley Quinn comics. I think she's a cool character, but her comics are just not for me. And as far as this being a very special edition, especially, there's nothing, there hasn't been a comic book that has had a feature like this in...
Well, I don't think there is.
Well, I'm just talking any kind of they used to have some comics where they would come with the blue and red glasses, so some of the pages would look 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever done any scratch and sniff things in comics. They probably have before, but there hasn't been an added element to a comic book like this in
I
a
would
very
have
long
assumed
time,
that
as far as I know.
In order to get the scratch and sniff effect, you would need a thicker page because you need somewhere for that.
Which this is relative to most comics. This is maybe a little bit thicker.
Dude, every time I flipped a page, I thought I was going to rip in half. How do you even read a real comic book without ripping the pages?
Pretty much like this.
But even that flip right
like
there,
this.
you don't feel like you're going to tear it off?
No, because I know how to do it, and I have faith in I trust the book.
Speaking of, so overall rating out of 10?
4.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't believe it was even a 4, to be honest.
Well, the art is acceptable, and I think kudos for.
There's a second comic book in the back.
Yeah, I think this is there's 4 or there's a couple different stories in here, most of which revolve around farting. Yeah, definitely. It smells like it does smell like something specific though. Like something that you would smell on the side of a highway
You're
in
not
Florida.
going to bait me into smelling
That's what it's
it.
like.
Because you
I'm
are
not.
baiting me into smelling
No, I'm
it,
not,
but I'm
Matthew.
not gonna.
No, I'm not.
You're trying to.
No, I'm not. I'm over trying to get you to smell it. If you don't want to smell it, that's on you. If you don't want to have a good time and try something that might scare you a little bit, that's not my problem.
So, since we're on Harley Quinn now, another great segue. They just added all 3 Batman movies back on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, which
Yep.
I know you don't like. They're so good.
You
dude.
know-
I've watched all 3 of them already. And they're so good. And I'll talk more about that in a second, but happy belated birthday because it was your birthday.
Thanks.
When I called you and sang you my rendition of Happy Birthday, I wanted to do halfway through. This is not an original thought, but halfway through, I was like, fuck, can I switch to Michael Caine? And I don't know if you hear me stutter a couple times while singing. Like, I thought in my head, like, can I switch to Michael Caine here? No, it's not. I can't make it work.
Yeah.
Happy?
Singing as Michael Caine.
No,
sounds
but
really
I was
hard.
just gonna go. I was gonna go to talking for like one verse of like.
like almost like
happy
a cameo.
birthday.
Like a.
Happy. I can't do Caine. I can't do him.
I gotta find my.
I can't do
my,
an Alfred.
My sinuses are like really fucked up today, so I don't know if
can't
I'll
do
be
an
able-
Alfred.
I think we
Even
should do.
even
It's also funny though to do like
even then I won't want to.
cameos where that was
Even then I won't want to.
Michael Caine. Hello, Joseph.
Yeah.
Hello, Joseph. Your grandmother wanted me to wish you a happy birthday. Now, this is a cameo that Michael Caine is doing, but the camera is facing the wrong direction, so you're just kind of seeing Michael Caine's, like, gorgeous cabinets in his kitchen,
Okay.
and he's trying to do the video. Hello, Peter. Your grandfather wanted me to tell you
If I
to have a
s-
very special happy birthday.
If
And
I
will
saw.
tell,
No, that was pretty good.
and I will tell my friend, Master Bruce. Oh, oops, I mean Batman. And then he winks, but you can't see it because it's facing the cabinets. This is great. Michael Caine cameos. I'll do a Michael Caine cameo for you for free. I'll do it for free. I don't need that Caine money. I'll donate it to Michael Caine. He doesn't need it either. You know, he was in that movie Jaws 2, which obviously is horrific. You've never seen Jaws 2, have you?
Michael Caine is not on Cameo.
No, of course not.
Why? Of course.
Because he doesn't need to be. And
Well,
He's
first, I
old.
guess if I could spell Caine right, that would help.
Michael Caine. My name is Michael Caine. I was going in for this audition. Like this theater company was having these general auditions. I got an email from them say, hey, sign up, come on, do your thing. And all week leading up to it, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I have no monologue in mind or anything.
Yeah.
So literally all week I was like, how crazy would it be if I did do
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine doing Chucky's speech at the end of Good Will
Did you
Hunting?
do it?
No.
What'd you do?
I did something.
You don't have to tell me.
No, I beefed it, though. I beefed it hard. Does
Does
that
that
was a
mean
crazy
good?
day. No.
Oh.
Beefed it. It's like,
You shat it?
I
You
shat
did
it.
bad?
yeah, I think so. But I took a big swing. I did this thing from Phantom Toll Booth. It's like a book.
Yeah.
I never had heard of it either, but my wife, it was like her favorite book growing up. And it's very like it's like Alice in Wonderland-esque.
Okay.
So, you know, the thing I read was this character who's like very like like whimsical and stuff like that. I just wanted to try something different, and I did have fun, but I don't think they liked it.
That's too bad for them. I liked it.
I don't really mind. But yeah, maybe I should have done Michael Caine.
Michael Caine doing the reading from Good Will Hunting. Put
Yeah.
that on the top of your list for next audition.
So bad. I got to remember. But also, I did read like that speech, and it kind of doesn't fit that well. But I think, you know, I could probably make it work. I'm trying to remember everything he says, but God, so good. Love that movie.
Good Will Hunting? Or,
Yeah,
or Batman?
Good Will Hunting. Yeah, Batman. Emily
Dark Knight.
actually mentioned this like to me the other week
Yeah.
because she just rewatched those movies as
They're
well.
So
They're fucking awesome.
And
good. So good.
I remember it did bring back a memory like specifically when The Dark Knight came out, I was like, fuck. I don't know if this is a great comic book movie, but what's good about it to bring people towards comic book movies is it's a really good fucking movie that just has comic book characters in it. I think that's really why that trilogy works. But last year when I tried to rewatch them, I was like, it just did not hit me. And again, maybe it's because I really love Robert Pattinson's Batman, and I know maybe people think I'm crazy for that,
No,
but
I
he
like
is
that.
so.
I think that movie's very good.
But
Yeah, I
he's
think
like
a lot of
my
people like
favorite one,
Mm-hmm.
like by a mile. I think that's the best Batman. Maybe the first Michael Keaton movie is fucking.
I don't know.
Still holds up, to tell you the truth.
But
Pattinson.
since I rewatched The Dark Knight, I've been saying nonstop, like I said, I am good at calculations.
I don't remember that part.
Emily, you know what part I'm talking about?
Who says that?
When they're interrogating the guy from Hong Kong,
Oh, yes.
and they're like, without proof of the books, how are you? Or he says, what's gonna? They're like, he's like, I'll give up everything. And it'll be enough. Like, I'm very good at calculations. And then they're like, well, what do you? And they're like, okay, well, if you blow all your clients in, what are you gonna do with the money? And he's like I said, I am good at calculations. And he says calculations, and I just fucking love it. He nails it.
You gotta love a little thing like
Yeah.
that.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
No, actually, I do have something else, dude. You know how we were talking about woolly mammoths, woolly mice?
Qui.
Did you see they did it?
With woolly mammoths?
No, with
Dire wolves.
Dire wolves.
I was gonna maybe mention this to you.
I don't
as
know
well.
what a dire wolf is, but I saw that they
Okay.
did it.
So dire wolf is an animal, obviously, but they're very prominent in the Game of Thrones book series and TV show. You know, I mean, I know you don't watch
Are
it,
they
but
big
like
wolves?
yeah, they're just like
Yeah.
fucking huge.
They're
wolves.
like an extinct species of
Yeah, I
real
know they're
wolf.
extinct.
Yeah, they've been extinct for 10,000 years. So in the books, you know, I mean, I'm sure you know, like you've heard the name Jon Snow and stuff. Like he gets a dire wolf.
Jon Snow.
Like the dire wolves, it's a big deal in Game of Thrones. So yeah, they brought back these dire wolves, and the first photos I'm seeing are George R. Martin, the author of the Game of Thrones books, holding this baby dire wolf. Now, actually, last week when we were talking about woolly mammoths, Emily, after the show, was like, "Hey, there's a good reason that that for like 20 years they've been trying to bring back woolly mammoths."
Why?
Lay it on them.
Emily?
So the part of like what woolly mammoths did for like the environment is by like, you know, walking over the tundra, they keep the ground like frozen for longer so that it stays tundra instead of like melting sooner, and they keep like the tree growth, like I can't remember if it's they prevent like large plants from growing, which like takes up more.
Right, could crack ice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With its root
So
system.
they keep everything like trampled down and flat and keep the snow packed down so that the tundra stays cold longer and doesn't like melt into the ocean.
So there's a reason. So there's a legit reason that I was clowning on these scientists for wasting their lives, but there's a reason. Now with the dire wolf people,
can't stop
take that back.
evolution,
With the
Andy.
dire wolf people, take that back. If you're gonna bring back any animal, why the fuck would you? Because wolves at the beginning of civilization, not even civilization,
Yep, civilization.
pre-civilization, wolves and large cats.
We're talking pre-civilization.
We're talking pre-civvy. They would hunt humans. They were
Yeah.
massive predators.
Yeah.
So why do you think the
Facts.
dire wolves went away? Because we fucking
They were
killed them
fucking us
because they
up.
were trying to fuck us up.
Yeah.
And
But
we
we
were
also
domesticating people.
we got man's best friend.
We got man's best friend, sure, but that's all part of the system. Why are we why dire wolves? Why? There's no way that the dire wolves are doing anything for the environment the way that the woolly mammoths are.
Have you ever heard about like the Yellowstone wolf reintroduction thing? So
I have. Well, yes, but fill me in, please.
wolves they're called keystone species,
Mm-hmm.
which means they make like the biggest difference in like whatever environment they're part of.
Definitely.
So like after all the wolves were like killed in Yellowstone, the deer and elk population was out of control and everything was turning into like desert because they ate all of the vegetation. So they had to like reintroduce wolves to like keep everything from just dying from how many
Right.
like deer and elk there were. So that's why like wolves, like that's why they reintroduced them and like some parts of North America.
And that
I don't
makes
know what
sense.
they're gonna. The direwolves were made by like this private company. You know, like.
Dude,
They,
they're
like-
probably gonna. I bet you they're gonna be the. If that's true, I wouldn't be surprised. This, pardon me. Too many Harley Quinn burps in my system.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I would guess private security firms. They sell these wolves to private security firms, so that when if John Wick shows up to your door,
You can send.
can you John Wick? Like that's the kind of people who are buying these dire wolves, right? Are like the oligarchs that John Wick is like breaking into their places. That's what they're and again. That's fucked up, and that's stupid. Well, it's not stupid,
like
but
the
it's
Jurassic-
fucked. Like
they should have
Jurassic
never
Park
killed
shit.
John Wick's dog.
all of it. It's Jurassic Park. It's John Wick. It's the whole fucking thing. I don't like that George R.R. Martin gets to be the first guy to hold them because
Is that the guy who wrote the books?
that's the guy who wrote the books.
I thought he was about to die.
Well,
No.
everybody say he's just mad old, but he's not like sickly or anything.
But I thought that's why they were worried that he wasn't going to finish the books before he
No,
died.
he's just like
they
never
are
gonna
because
finish
he's just
that
so
shit.
old, and he's not and he just seems to not be working on this last book like whatsoever
Oh.
because he's doing all this TV.
So how
shit.
did they end the show if the book?
They just made it up.
Bad, like people hated the end of it. They like made it up, and the guys who were writing Game of Thrones were gonna be hired to work for Disney.
Yeah.
So they
And-
like to write Star Wars or something.
Yeah, they were gonna. I think they might have.
And
Maybe
Disney
we're
gave
gonna
them
do
the
their
can?
own new Star Wars
Yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they rushed the end of Game of Thrones to get on the Disney project, and then Disney saw that they did that and fired them because
Yeah,
they were like,
whole
"Well,
thing
if you're
fell
gonna
through.
rush through your other projects, we don't want you on ours."
Yeah.
But yeah, they
Wow.
were pretty hated after that.
Yeah, people really didn't
It's
like that Game
electric.
of
Good
Thrones.
They
on
named
Disney.
they
I
named
know
one of
people
the
didn't like it.
yeah. I mean, they named one of the direwolves Khaleesi, which is dumb, but
Why Khaleesi's not direwolf?
she wasn't like part of the family that had
No.
direwolves in the show. Like,
She's a Targaryen.
why
brother.
not name it
So
after
they're fake fans. So whoever made them is
Arya?
fake fans.
Arya should be the first direwolf name. Arya.
Romulus and Remus are the other ones.
That's
Does that
pretty-
make sense?
Yes, because Romulus and Remus were the
Yeah,
twin.
I don't care. I don't care at all.
All right.
I was asking specifically so that I could tell you how much I didn't care.
And I'm wondering now if you knew how excited I would be to answer that question, because I was very excited to start spilling those.
No, I
beans.
had a feeling like you guys would be like, "Oh my god, Game of Thrones."
No, it's not a game.
No, it
it's
doesn't
not
have-
for.
it
It's
does
for
nothing
real
to do with Game of
historical
Thrones.
reasons. It doesn't have to do
That's
with Game
what
of Thrones.
Rome, the city, is named after.
Rome was the story of Rome is that it was founded by two twins named Romulus and Remus, who were abandoned by their mother or parents, put in a basket down a river, Moses style, then found and nursed and raised by a
Pack of direwolves.
by a wolf,
Oh.
wolf.
All right, see now I feel bad for what I said
No, that's okay.
because that was good historical.
I
Fact.
think that's one of my favorite fun facts.
you want to do who
Talking
who'd
Romulus
win
and
the week?
Remus. Yes, might be. It's probably gonna be a shorter episode, so we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
And I will remember.
That's what happens.
Yeah, the fart
Whatever
comic did
happened
not
to the
take up as much
Zimpity?
good time as I thought it was
Man,
gonna
the
be.
paper boys is empty.
When I went to
Neither
the
did direwolves. That was quick. We jumped
I
right
know.
from don't do it. I will say, dude, I've been thinking about this a lot with this direwolves comment. Jurassic Park, real thing. I would go.
you would go.
Yeah.
I bet you if they made Jurassic Park for real, it would be pretty safe. To be honest with you, I don't
Well, that's
think.
what they thought when they made it in the movies too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's evolution, brother. That's what I'm saying about these woolly mammoths. You can't change evolution. If the Earth didn't want them here, then the Earth don't want them here. If they come back, they're gonna. This is
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Prediction. Not a scientist. We think we know what they were good for. I bet you we don't know what they were bad for. We bring them back, they're gonna fuck a whole
Ooh.
bunch of shit up.
So you got to ask yourself, what Mama gonna say?
Yeah.
What's Mother Earth gonna
Yeah.
be talking
my,
about?
my mama said
my mama
that the
said-
reason that we don't have woolly mammoths no more is because they got all that fur and no brush to brush them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Who Would Win of the Week this week is Kronk from Emperor's New Groove versus Ladies and gentlemen, the Who Would Win of the Week this week is Kronk from the Emperor's New Groove versus Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll tell you what. This is more personal. This doesn't necessarily pertain to the fight.
I know you don't like Travis Kelce.
That's the thing is, I am, you know me. I'm so not the kind of guy to like arbitrarily hate an athlete because, of course, that's ridiculous.
No, it's not.
I hear you, but you know
Yeah.
that. But you know that that's not.
Yes, that's not you.
But Travis Kelce, and I've heard he's a very nice guy and all this stuff, and it's just the fact that he played for the Chiefs, but there were so many years where he's just really fucked us. And it's very, when George W. Bush was president, a lot of people were like, if I met George W. Bush, I would not shake his hand. I would have a really hard time, I think, shaking Travis Kelce's hand if I met him. And I would, but honestly, part of me would die. And I know that is not.
Do you really think that though, or do you think you'd be like, "Holy shit, that's Travis Kelce"?
I don't know. But you know what? I'm sure I'm just being crazy. But
here's my thing, and then we'll get into the fight. For being a Bills fan, I have no qualms with Travis Kelce. What I will say is that I have a very interesting opinion about his relationship
with Taylor?
the one Taylor Swift. And I have nothing bad to say about Taylor Swift
of course
as well,
She's an
for
excellent
multiple reasons. Mostly because I'm afraid of what people would do if I were to say those things. But I just think that based off of Taylor, I think they're and who knows how they are behind closed doors, but they're media facing personalities to me are such vastly different people, like the way Taylor is and the way Travis is. Like, I feel like Travis is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, party.
Sure, he does his
do
podcasts
that thing.
and stuff.
Yeah, and like a super like bros bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Taylor Swift to me is like very the opposite of like everything that Travis is. Very like soft spoken and like I don't know, like female empowerment. Like, I'm not saying Travis Kelce is anti that, but his
I get you.
personality is like,
no, everybody completely understands what you're saying.
And so I just don't. That's what I don't understand. But we're not here to talk about that relationship.
Opposites attract, brother. That's science. My finger definitely does smell a little bit like fart.
That's disgusting.
Kronk. Here's the thing. About
Can
Kronk.
I ask a question? Because from what I remember, Kronk is stupid, correct? Or is he
Kronk
really smart?
No, Kronk. Is Kronk actually a genius?
Yeah.
No, he's
stupid.
He's academically, he's dumb, but he's the sweetest guy, and he's so nice.
He's got a touch of Lenny in him.
No. He's not like that.
Okay.
No, he's not like that. Here's what I will say.
In what way is he not like that?
He's not mentally disabled.
Okay.
He's just not academically inclined.
Okay.
Like, definition of a himbo.
Yeah, he's a himbo.
Oh yeah.
I don't really. Yeah, that's like a. That's one. That's like a new.
Jesus, never mind.
That's like a. That's like a
himbo.
Brother, do not waste your time thinking about what that is.
No,
because I for weeks I was like, what the fuck is a himbo?
Weeks? I've never heard this word until right now.
Exactly.
You know what the word bimbo is, right? Like
It's a
woman who's
himbo.
like.
So it's a himbo.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's like
Ken.
herstory.
He's a Ken.
It's like a herstory.
He's a Ken doll.
You're getting closer. You're
Okay.
getting warmer. You're getting warmer. You're getting warmer.
Forget I said anything.
But Kronk, I don't know if you know this about Kronk, but he is I think they're called like the Squirrel Scouts or whatever in the Emperor's New Groove. And that motherfucker,
He's like the number one. He's all time.
yeah,
He's
all
got
time.
every badge in the game.
And now I've been the first person to talk shit on Eagle Scouts, but Kronk is so not just
He
quick,
ties knots, doesn't he?
ties knots. I mean, wilderness training, he's got it covered, and I think those are skills that are going to transfer to the fight. Not only that, but especially in the Emperor's New Groove, you see Kronk running errands for Yzma, that bad woman, and he is jumping around and ducking. Like he for a guy who has like that classic prison gym body where his fucking torso is massive and his legs are so skinny.
Well, he's
that
got
motherfucker's
big
got
shoulders.
He's
got wide
big
shoulders. Yeah.
But that guy's got balance and he's agile.
Yeah. It's tough because I always tend to lean towards athletes because they're athletes. Like, they're the top, 1% of 1% of people that live in terms of
physical abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce's obviously done it for a long time at a very high level. So you have to, give him an advantage there. But I don't think that Travis Kelce was ever a Boy Scout, and I think that's an underrated point there because here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, and great example of this is former Barstool employee, co-host of Bussin' with the Boys podcast, Will Compton. When he was with Barstool, he went on Surviving Barstool, and everybody thought like he was just going to be good at like the physical challenges and whatnot. But he ended up winning that. Spoiler alert! 2 years ago, he won that season of Surviving Barstool because he was really good at a lot of like the memory and puzzle challenges and shit like that. Because like people assume like, oh, big strong football player dumb, but like. And I'll say this because I've never played football. Like, I still to this day haven't quite figured out, not having played football, but playing another sport, like, how you, like,
memorize routes. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that. Like, I guess, like, and again, like, similar to you, like, you memorize, lines and where to be at and stuff like that. Like, I have never, I mean, I would memorize shit for, like, tests, I guess, in college, but. Like, I never had to truly remember, like...
Bang, boom, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fully timed out, like, thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and there's a timing element to it. So, like,
of course.
I assume he would be a pretty strategic fighter. Not only is he physically capable and probably exceptional there, but he's probably, like, mentally a very good in a fight, too, because he understands, like... He'll understand... Maybe not in fighting sense, but he has the ability to quickly adapt to like whatever style of fighter he's fighting against, even if he doesn't know what the best. And here's where I think this comes into play for both of them. I think that they could both take quite a beating.
Yeah.
Gronk for sure. So that's where my thing lies is like Travis Kelce, like obviously he gets hit for a living, but he does wear a helmet, all that stuff. Gronk, I feel like, can take a lot of abuse, both because he does from that bad woman, like, verbally, but also, like, physically. Like, I feel like you could hit him with a bat. It's like in a movie when, like, a guy who we thought was tough. You watch Reacher?
No.
Okay. A guy who we thought was tough, like, fights an even bigger, tougher, like, Russian guy and, like, punched him as hard as he can in the face, and the Russian guy, like, head barely turns.
Yeah.
And then he boom punch him and sends the guy
like
flying.
in Indiana
I feel like
Jones,
that's what
the first one.
That's what the start of that fight would be like. And then but as Kelce figures it out, can Gronk still take the abuse? I think yes. I'm actually going to take Gronk here. And I was going to take when we started this, I was going to take Travis Kelce because I don't like to go against athletes. But yeah,
let me say this: Gronk, his downfall. That guy definitely has undiagnosed ADHD.
Yes.
He would be so easy to distract. Even by something that was not purposely done by Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but that's the thing is deception is a big part of that, what he does on a football field too, right? Chip block, hold for a second, boom, take off, sit down, catch a football, touchdown. Like, that makes me want – I'm going back to Travis Kelce. I'm taking Travis Kelce.
It's really tough because I could see – I'm a Gronk fan. I love Gronk. I could see Travis Kelce just bodying him.
I'm taking
Travis
Kelce.
Tackling him, hitting him, taking him down like a fucking tank.
I don't think so. Like that's why I was thinking Gronk because like I imagine Travis Kelce being like, oh, I'm gonna hit tackle him as hard as he can, and I think like Gronk would just like. Not even like I think that's a big body.
If it was for sure, but I do think if we add that distraction element, Gronk turns like this, and then Travis is coming.
Your shoelace
from
is
his
untied.
Other side,
boom,
bang.
Uppercut, bang.
Yeah.
But he is also the Squirrel Scout thing is where I factor in like maybe he is situationally smart,
which that's absolutely true.
But it might not be this. But but you compare that to Travis Kelce's ability to use deception, I think that goes back in the favor of Kelce. I'm taking Kelce.
Here's my last push for Gronk is I can see Gronk really focusing, bearing down when he has to. Post that one, Travis Kelce I think is going to get in the first big hit, but if Gronk locks in after that, that's the way I see it. If Gronk locks in after that, I can see Gronk finding a way to pull it out. So,
I think Kelce throws the first punch. Gronk doesn't even notice it hits him. He throws the punch back, sends Kelce like across the ring. And then Kelsey gets up, like stumbles a second, like gets his wits about him. And he's like, fuck, I'm going to have to try. Like, I'm going to have to think of another way to do this. And then he says, oh, shit, Kronk, your shoe's untied. Kronk looks down. Boom.
So
and
I
then
see,
it's
like,
on.
two of them kind of see each other.
Yeah.
And Kronk, like, sees somebody knows. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
And then Travis.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking Travis.
I'm gonna put my money on Kronk. And I might lose that money, but I'm putting my money on Kronk.
That's the problem. You don't play this game with integrity. That's fine. That's fine. You pick your pick, and I'll pick mine. I'm going to vote on Travis Kelce. Andy's taking Kronk.
I am taking
Vote on
Kronk.
that on Instagram.
Because I think he's going to win.
On Friday, who would win of the week? Kronk from Emperor's New Groove versus Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, a.k.a. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Andy, closing arguments, closing thoughts.
Ooh.
What do you got for me?
Well, this is something I'll save that because that'll take a while.
Lay something on me, brother.
All right, fine.
Pick one.
There's a new movie coming out called I Play Rocky, and it's about Sylvester Stallone
Playing Rocky.
Yeah, because you know that story.
No.
So Sylvester Stallone wrote the movie Rocky.
Yes, and then he wouldn't. He wouldn't sell the script. Yes, I do know that story.
Unless
yes.
they agreed to play Rocky.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a movie made about that, and I think that's going to be cool.
That is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Amen. Because whoever gets to play Sylvester Stallone, that's an all-time role.
I gotta put my hat in the ring for that.
Yeah.
I know that
You'd have to put on a lot of weight.
I know
like, you'd have to get muscular.
if they give me the
Your
right
shoulders
people,
are-
but
yeah.
maybe I could. But I think maybe I could get some of his, and I could do the voice. Like I could.
But you got to do
I could-
Stallone, remember, not Rocky. You're not trying to do Rocky. You got to do Stallone. Rocky is Stallone, but like up a notch.
You're absolutely
he
right.
cranks the dial,
And that's what the difference is going to be. That's
Yeah.
why I'm going to get the part over other people, because
I
other
love
people
that,
are going to be
dude.
like,
"How do we get you in there? What can I do? What can we do to get you in there?" I'll pull some
let's
strings.
just start with a grassroots
talk to my
campaign.
guy.
Just grassroots campaign.
I'll talk to my guy.
Speaking
my
of
movie
like
guy.
biopics, basically though, word on the street is DiCaprio is going to play Evel Knievel in a movie too. The Daredevil.
Yeah, I think I missed the phase of children who grew up that thought like
That was
Daredevils.
Like, well, that was like.
Well, I just
in
mean
the
in general,
70s.
but like people were still into that.
I don't think so.
Hot Rod
Hot Rod's a parody of that though.
of people that were into it though.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do. I guess I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but still, that's those people don't really exist.
Stan
And
was
even
the
if you
greatest
watch
stuntman of all time.
that movie, I do like that movie a lot.
Andy,
Yes.
I love you.
Love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.